We're here on September 26th for the 2011 Mesothelioma Awareness Day. You can see people here trying to raise awareness for mesothelioma.
Very disturbing.
This is actually a nationally recognized awareness day by the United States Congress. It was something that the Mesothelioma Applied Research Foundation got Congress to recognize, and it's important to have a day where we raise awareness for mesothelioma. Just like other diseases like breast cancer, mesothelioma now has a day, September 26th every year, to raise awareness for mesothelioma. And coming down to the Today Show and gathering and getting on the air for a little bit has become a tradition in a way to raise awareness for mesothelioma. We're here with Kathy Wiedemer, Executive Director of the Mesothelioma Applied Research Foundation. And Kathy, could you just tell everyone about the foundation and what we're doing here today?
Absolutely, Jerry, thanks, and thanks to LPK for all that you've done to help us make it happen this morning. The Meso Foundation we're here today to celebrate Mesothelioma Awareness Day. This is a movement that was started several years ago by Mesothelioma Applied Research Foundation volunteers to raise awareness of the disease. But we're also here today to bring people's attention to curemeso.org, which is our website, and you can go to curemeso.org to get really good trusted information, get information on how to contact a medical liaison who will be there for folks who need help and need information about mesothelioma right away. So that's why we're here today. We've got 50 plus people here in the audience with their orange t-shirts on, raising awareness.
Rich, we're raising awareness for mesothelioma today, and if you could just tell everyone who you are and just a little bit about yourself and about what we're doing here today.
Great. My name is Rich Mosca. I am a 5-year peritoneal mesothelioma survivor, and I have to tell you, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't partially, at least, for the Meso Foundation. My family, all the people that are here today, are all here to make sure that everybody knows what this deadly disease does and what the cause of it is. And if anybody needs any help, please reach out to the Meso Foundation, and we'll be more than happy to help you.
Heather, all right, we're raising awareness for mesothelioma today, of course, and I know you're like one of the strongest, most vocal mesothelioma warriors out there. Could you just introduce yourself and just talk about your journey a little bit and why we're here today?
My name is Heather Von St. James. I am a 5.5-year survivor of pleural mesothelioma. I was diagnosed in November of 2005, just 3.5 months after my baby girl was born. I've had extrapleural pneumonectomy, which is surgery, chemo, radiation. As far as treatments, I've run the gamut, but I'm here and I'm alive almost 6 years later for the cause. And I'm here to raise awareness, let people know that there is hope, that a meso diagnosis is not a death sentence, that there are survivors here who are fighting to find a cure.
I'm here with a legend, Larry Davis. Larry, can you tell everyone about who you are and your journey and the active role you've taken in raising awareness for mesothelioma?
Well, I'm Larry Davis, and love to run. I was diagnosed 5 years ago with mesothelioma, and in spite of all the success stories you hear of people making it a few years, 90% are dead within 5 years, and there's no cure, and we need research money because the American Cancer Society and all the other organizations have never given any money for meso research because it's an orphan disease. So it's a pretty tragic thing, seeing the only known source is asbestos. And the World Trade Center only had 400 tons of it in it when it fell on those guys, and people are still denying that it's a problem in this country when it should have been banned 30 years ago. This is a crime in the USA to have asbestos still legal.
Larry, tell everyone about your fundraising efforts for mesothelioma research.
I put on a Miles for Meso 8K in Boca Raton, Florida. It'll be February 12th this year. In the last 2 years, we've raised $50,000 for research, and I put my dough into non-chemo therapies, meaning immunology, stem cell research, and again, my opinion is that meso and chemo don't seem to go together very well. And we've been very successful. We should have a huge race this spring. We also put on a health symposium and invite the key research doctors to come down and talk about their latest research and help them raise some money for that. And that's why I'm here today.
Thanks, Larry. We're here to raise awareness for mesothelioma, and I've talked to many people who say that you're an inspiration to them because of your story. So can you tell us a little bit about your story and about how you feel about being here today, Mesothelioma Awareness Day at the Today Show?
Well, my story started 9.5 years ago when I found out I had Meso, and I went through a clinical trial with operations, with debulkings, and chemotherapy and radiation. I was in a wheelchair for months, but eventually I ended up getting stronger. So it's taken me 9 years to get strong. But to see all these people here knowing that mesothelioma has affected them is kind of overwhelming. You have patients, you have families, you have people who just are in support of the people they know, because this disease needs to come to the forefront, needs to be addressed. We need research money for it. And as far as I know, the people that have worked with me with LPK and with the Meso Foundation have worked so hard to bring this to where it is now. And today is Mesothelioma Awareness Day. We've done that.
Carol Batch.
Carol Batch.
I'm Kevin.
Kevin Batch.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Jerry Block. We're just wanting to raise awareness. We're taking some video. We've heard from a number of families who have been affected by mesothelioma. We've heard from some people who are living with mesothelioma. Can you just say, would you mind saying a few words about who you are and how you feel, just who you are and how you feel about being here today? Kevin, do you want to?
Okay. We're here, for my dad. He passed away in January from mesothelioma. He had it for about 15 months, or from diagnosis.
Tell us a little bit about your dad.
He was in the Navy. He worked at EB, building the submarines, and he was also a firefighter for 40 years. It's just, I don't know.
Your father served in the United States Navy. He helped build submarines that were used to protect the country. Do you feel like the United States should be taking some federal money and funding research?
Yes, definitely. I think they should be doing a lot more than what they are doing. And doing this awareness, I think, is great, because it should show them that this should be happening.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So we're here to raise awareness for mesothelioma. Do you mind just telling a little bit about your family and why you're here and how you feel about being here today?
Well, we're here for the cure. That's why we're here. My father was diagnosed 24 months ago, and he's pleural mesothelioma. He is a man that has built this country, built this city. He was in Peter Cooper Stuyvesant Town, head of operations there, and we designed all of the plumbing system in Peter Cooper Stuyvesant Town, and because of that, it has now a fatal disease that we don't have a cure for, and only one line of treatment. Alimta is the only FDA-approved chemotherapy out there right now. There's a lot of phase 3 trials that are out there with real promising drugs, and that's what we're striving for today, to get some more money to be able to get those out there for my dad.
We're raising awareness for mesothelioma today, and you've come all the way from West Virginia.
Yes.
For this day.
Yes.
To be on the Today Show. Can you just talk a little bit about yourself, what your story is related to mesothelioma, and why you're here today?
Sure. We lost my dad to mesothelioma 3 years ago, and I'm here with my aunt, which is his brother, my mom, and my sister. We're from West Virginia, and we also do a fundraiser in West Virginia. Virginia on the 24th of this past Saturday, and then we came here for this. So we're hoping to raise awareness and more funds in the future.
What would you say to families who maybe have a family member who has been recently diagnosed with mesothelioma? What would you say to a family that's facing that right now?
Gosh, I actually am lost for words because it's so devastating that that there is other people out there. There is hope that together as a family of Cure Meso that we can come together and keep believing in a cure and just help each other through it.
I know that you're a real supporter of mesothelioma research, and I know that you have a personal story to tell. Could you just say who you are and your story as it relates to mesothelioma and why you're here today?
My name is Erica Iacchino, and I'm from New York, Brooklyn, and Long Island, and now live in Manhattan. And in 2000, my dad, Anthony Iacchino, was diagnosed with pleural mesothelioma. Unfortunately, back then, there was really no way to it was tough to diagnose because doctors weren't really familiar with the disease. So my dad was sick for about 3 or 4 years before he was finally diagnosed in March of 2000. And unfortunately at that point, the disease had already spread outside of his pleura. So he died just 7 weeks later on April 29th. And a couple of months later, I came in contact with the Mesothelioma Applied Research Foundation. And since then, I really kind of dedicated my resources and my time to working with the foundation to help raise money to fund research so that one day we will not have to deal with this disease, and at the very least we'll be able to treat it more effectively like some other cancers like breast cancer. And so that's what I'm here for, and it's my first year in the plaza for Mesothelioma Awareness Day, and I'm looking forward to many more and looking forward to a day where we have a real shot at a cure.
Can you just say a few words about your annual fundraiser?
Oh yes. So for the past 6 years, myself and one other supporter, Janice Malkotis, who's not here, we've been organizing the 5K Walk for Hope, which takes place in Eisenhower Park in Long Island every year. And each year we gather about 150 to 200 people who walk the 5K, raising money. This past year we raised close to $20,000. So over 6 years we've raised close to $100,000, which goes directly to the foundation to, again, fund research.
Awesome.
Yeah, and we're working on this year's race, so we may do it actually race this year, race and a run. So we're looking into these spots. Yeah.
Keep getting bigger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks so much.
Thank you
Good job.
too for supporters like you. Not many law firms, I think, support the cause like they should. So
thank you.
My dad actually worked with your law firm, Martin Walter. He worked on the ships and in the Brooklyn Navy Yard when he was a young man. And then when he was in his later, about 77, I think, he started getting subtle symptoms and it wasn't picked up. And then when he was diagnosed, the local oncologist said he would go to a conference and try to learn how to treat him. So he gave him traditional chemo. And we did not have the support of the MARD or Cure Meso organization or leading experts at that time.
And this was before the Mesothelioma Applied Research Foundation.
Yes. And Robert Commodore was very supportive and helpful to us. But we didn't have the networking, we didn't have the educational backing. I did my self-research in the library and so forth. My dad he believed in yes or no. He was an engineer. He believed that if there was a treatment and you could prove that it would help him, he would go for it. Otherwise, he didn't go all over the world at that point because there wasn't anything that was that promising.
Your sign says your father was a brilliant engineer, a good citizen, and neighbor.
Right.
Can you tell us about the picture here?
He worked for the Air Force and Navy for Fairchild, Republic, and Grumman, and we had about 50 or 60 of these when we cleared his stuff out. He was always getting awards and letters. He was very precise, and I actually made a CD to raise money in honor of him and for the Meso Foundation.
Thank you so much.
And I hope to continue to be actively involved because it's a family disease and a community disease.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
family and a mom.